I never imagined something like this could happen at a gas station. It was just a normal job, one of those gigs you take when you need cash. I worked the night shift, the quietest shift, or at least I thought it would be. I'm going to tell you what happened that night, and I know that after you hear it, you'll understand. So get ready, because this wasn't something normal. I was on the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift, the graveyard shift, when all you do is wait. Everything was quiet that night, just like any other. The gas station was far from any big city, out on a lonely stretch of highway. Sometimes a few trucks would pass by, but nothing major. Even though the night was silent, there was always a certain tension in the air, but I never thought it would be the end of my sanity. The kind of night where you almost start believing you're completely alone in the world, until something reminds you that you're not. It was an ordinary night until that call. I was completely alone at the station. It was nearly 2:30 a.m., and by that time, all the traffic had completely disappeared. I was getting tired, my eyelids heavy, struggling to stay awake. Like any other late-night shift, my only companions were the occasional beams of headlights slicing through the darkness. And then the phone rang, the first call of the night, and right from the start, something about it felt strange. I looked at the caller ID. It was an unknown number. I figured it might be someone lost on the highway asking for directions. So I picked up. Hello? But there was no response. No sound at all, just silence. I thought, okay, maybe it was a mistake, and was about to hang up. But the silence, it was uncomfortable. And then I heard a whisper.
I'm here.
I quickly hung up. A chill ran down my spine, the kind that makes your skin crawl, that feeling that something was wrong. But I told myself it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I was alone, tired, so I kept working, but for some reason, that call wouldn't leave my mind. Hours passed, and everything seemed normal again, until around 3 a.m. when the phone rang again. I didn't want to pick up. I tried convincing myself it was just some prank, some weirdo messing around, but deep down I knew I had to answer. It was part of the job, right? What if it was a real emergency? So, swallowing my fear, I picked it up and said, "Hello?" Again, silence. But it wasn't the same silence as before. This time, it felt heavier, like there was something alive behind it. Then, through the static, I heard a faint, broken sigh, followed by a whisper so soft I almost thought I imagined it.
You shouldn't have answered.
I froze. The second those words faded, the line went dead. I stayed there for a moment, the phone still pressed against my ear, heart hammering against my ribs. The station around me seemed darker somehow, heavier, like something unseen had slipped inside while I wasn't looking. I started hearing things. At first I told myself it was just the wind, or maybe an old pipe rattling. Little sounds, creaks and knocks, stuff you could ignore if you tried hard enough. It was like the station had a life of its own, like there was a presence, something moving around, watching. I'm not someone who scares easily. I've pulled dozens of night shifts, seen more than my share of strange things. But that night was, different. I could feel it, a presence lingering just beyond the lights, watching, waiting. I checked the doors, the windows, the pumps outside. Everything was exactly where it should be. And yet, the air itself felt wrong, heavy, almost suffocating, like I was breathing in something that wasn't meant to be there. Finally, I decided to check the bathroom. Maybe if I faced it, it would go away, right? Maybe it was just paranoia setting in. But when I pushed open the door, the lights inside flickered, sputtering like they were on their last breath. And then, the phone rang again. It was that same unknown number. My heart jumped into my throat. I didn't want to answer. Every fiber of my being was telling me not to. Maybe I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was just another prank. But I had to answer. Hello? The line was strange again, no sound. The uncomfortable feeling came back, stronger now. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And then something happened, something that, even today, makes me question my sanity. It was like the silence itself was alive, pressing against my ears, waiting for something. And then it came. I heard a voice, a low, whispering voice, but it wasn't just any voice. It was like it was inside me, like it was touching me.
I'm here with you.
I didn't know what to do. The voice felt close, as if it were surrounding me, as if it were inside the station itself, but I couldn't see anything. I could feel my heartbeat echoing in my ears, loud and frantic, as if my body was warning me of something. I looked around again. The station was completely silent. Nothing. There was no one there. But something in my mind told me I wasn't alone anymore. It was like the presence was everywhere now, watching my every move. I approached the door. Something inside me told me to go there, that I needed to open the door and see what was waiting outside. But I was so tense. With every step I took, the weight on my chest grew heavier. And at that moment, just as I was about to open the door, the sound stopped. The wind, the flickering lights, everything, total silence. And then the door opened by itself. The door opened, but there was nothing on the other side. No cars, no figures lurking in the dark. Just cold, empty space. But the worst part was that the air felt different. It was heavier, denser, and at the same time, freezing cold. I felt the chill run down my spine. I knew I was hallucinating, or at least that's what I wanted to believe, but I couldn't deny it. The presence that was there, it was everywhere, in every corner of that station. There was no one to see, but I knew it was there. I never went back there after that. I don't know what happened that night, but even today, whenever I drive past a gas station, I feel that chill, and I hear that voice whispering, "I'm here with you." If you're ever working alone late at night at a gas station and the phone suddenly rings, you might want to think twice before picking it up, because if you do, you might not be alone in that place anymore, even if you can't see anyone around you. And trust me on this. What you can't see lurking in the shadows is far scarier than anything standing right in front of you. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking with me through this story. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next stories. It really helps me keep bringing more stories like this to you. See you next time, and be careful where you answer the phone.